everybody. Thank you for listening to or watching the Upland Down Under podcast. Tonight's show is recording live on Thursday, the 25th of April at 7 p.m. Australian Eastern Standard Time. I'm back in the laundry. Woohoo! On tonight's show, we catch up on the Upland market floors, check in on the neighbourhood ratings for April, and we've got the Sparklet Airdrop campaign, Blossom Season Pass drop number 4, the end of Chapter 1 in the Sparklet Airdrop campaign, a roadmap update video to review and reflect on, and preparations for the upcoming Q2 AMA and community meetup. Main topic for tonight's show, I've got that down as another USA city in Upland. Boring, but hang on, what's this? The interns have done it again, adding some unexpected and unnecessary drama to this morning's release of Washington, D.C. We've got a couple of quips to dive into. The first is about the face-palming math error revelation and the vibe of the Washington, D.C. release, and the other about predicted rewards for the first part of the Sparklet Airdrop campaign. And of course, we'll take a look at another Upland community member spotlight, care of the dynamic Node Builders team, and we'll give away 35,000 UpX and a Samurai Aquatics map asset. But that's not all. Tonight's the night that the prizes for Swali Man's latest celebratory campaign will be run and won. All that and more on this, the Upland Down Under podcast. Now, make sure I do the right button this time because I've flogged it up the last couple of weeks. So we do have another sponsor this week. Thank you very much, Kushal. Let me see if I got the right thing. Yeah. So speaking once again of all that and more, the next 2 weeks of the UDU podcast are brought to you by an awesome supporter of the show, Kushal 089, and his map asset metaventure called Rustic Arts, which is situated at 7754 Jellico Ave in LA. Step into Rustic Arts, your haven for map assets where each piece is curated with passion, weaving a personal touch into the virtual realm. Jump on over to 7754 Jellico Ave in LA and uncover the artistry that transforms spaces. Your journey begins there, where maps and memories intertwine in a uniquely personal metaverse showcase. Later in tonight's show, that's from last week. We're not going to be outlining how you can go into the running. We're going to give away 5 of them. That'll be, of course, if you got an entry in for the weekly contest, and that'll be on top of the usual prizes we do for that. So hopefully you got an entry in, 5 chances to win some bonus stuff there. If you're wondering how you can take part in the live recordings of this podcast, I'll drop the link to the live podcast in the NBA server Thursday nights at about 6:45 p.m. AEST. Let's get a look into the Breaking Badly news and take a look at what's currently happening in the Upland market floors. Now, Swally had the night off tonight, and I ran the numbers, and my gosh, Swally, what is it, Rio? I think I had to scroll through like 15 or 20 to get to the non-jail ones.
Absolutely ridiculous.
It wasn't much fun, that, but other than that, we banged through it. So what do we got here? I didn't have much of a look myself. So floor markups. What do we got? 30s, anything in the 29? No, a lot of 31s now. Look at that. Heaps of 31s. Wow, look at them. Kansas, Las Vegas, London, LA, Oakland, Queens, Rio. Oh, there you go. Sao Paulo, 28%. And Nashville, 28% as well. Wow. How low can she go? I wonder if there's going to come a point where they start putting the kibosh on it. Like, this is the question. How low can it go? Anyhow, I forgot to do the 90-day averages. We'll look at that. Both down a smidge. Transaction volume down another 1.6%. Trading volume down another 1.1%. Be interesting to see if that starts to flip around based on, everything with Washington and whatnot in the next couple of weeks. Unique active wallets actually up 15.1%, which is good to see. Was 61,510 last week. Now over 72,400. Total unminted properties, that number's janked because the proper stats for Washington haven't come through just yet. So it says 4,345 minted through the week. As I said, that doesn't include Washington. It'll take a while for all that to come through. So speaking of Washington, where are we at? Current UPX floor is 18,299 when I ran the numbers. We'll catch up on all the other data. Start catching up on that next week. Now, Swally, you're most interested in, you're going to be buying for USD and selling for UPX. So what do you got there?
Yeah,
Miami might be an option. And New Orleans and Porto, I wouldn't expect they'd move very fast. Miami might move pretty quick though.
Yeah, might look into it.
Yes, on the flip side, if you're buying for UPX and selling for USD, Stockton is a good value for money at the moment. Buy for $4,250, sell for $3. And what else have we got? LaSalle. I don't think that's going to move. And Trenton buy for 4,400 and sell for 3. That's pretty damn good right there. As far as movers and shakers in the city stats, bit all over the place because of course, you have an announcement like Washington that comes out of the blue. And look at all the UPX, a lot of red in the UPX. Only Kansas, London, New Orleans, and Porto bucking the trend there. Everything else is in the red. Not as severe as I would have thought, though. What have we got? Fresno down 18.7%. And that's about it. A lot of mid-teens and that. USD, a lot of flats there on the $3 or pushing down towards it. Dallas was $6 last week, down almost 17% to $3. To $5, sorry. And what else we got? Oh, look at Oakland, up 33.3%. Was $3 last week, now $4. And then it's a bit of a dog's breakfast after that. It's a bit all over the shop, so we won't touch on that too much this week. We'll move straight on over to the neighbourhood ratings and have a look. Sorry, I was going to say Oakland. No, Quailwood still out in front, maintaining the lead. Not much time left, so I think they've got that in the bag for April. Greenwich Village followed up suit, Bayswater, Praia de Bandera, Sherwood Forest, Dogpatch, Bronxdale, Hanson Dam, and Palmer Park, rounding out the top 10. So we had the Blossom Season Pass drop 4. I haven't checked out Elslak's latest videos yet. How did it go?
You should check it out.
I saw the title. It looked like a golden one.
100% check it out.
All right, so let's see. I didn't really have a look at this myself with any details yet. What do we got? Week 4 drops are live. What do you got? Okay, hang on. That looked pretty cool. All right, robots gold. I still don't... Has there been any explanation? Robots and the steampunk vibe for Blossom season? No.
Maybe looks nice, but it's nearly invisible behind all the BE.
Yeah.
They use these figures which don't need much space, but if you got a full use of your BE, you don't see much of the background.
Yeah, I can imagine. Oh well, at least you got, what did you get there? You got 3 color variations, and you also got another property card. So, I don't know. It's a bit better than the first one, at least. So
actually, that surprise drop one, I don't mind that one. The Sparklet thingy, that was probably the best thing they've dropped this season, to be fair.
Yeah.
Oh, for the Bitcoin halving, that one?
Yeah.
Yep.
So, I'm almost happy that I have the pass just for that one only.
Maybe we got a Sparklet halving too in the future if they just advertise it to us.
You never know. All right. So speaking of Sparklet, we'll jump on straight over there. If you have been engaged in the Sparklet airdrop campaign, Chapter 1 has officially concluded. I managed to get over into level 3. How'd everyone else go? Did you get in at least to level 1?
Level 2.
Level 2. 300 points missing.
That you missed? That's a bit of a bummer. Yeah, so that was there. That was pretty straightforward. Now, we did get some notes about that that came through today, I believe. So according to Lisette, rewards are being finalised and will be announced as soon as they're ready. In the meantime, players should make sure their Upland account is linked to the Airdrop platform. I saw in general this afternoon a lot of players playing around with the MetaMask, getting that all linked up. I don't think that's going to be a part of this.
No,
I think it's just connect to the third-party thing within the app. So a lot of people.
I think if they want to attract new players, they need to say these airdropped Sparklet will land in your Upland account, not in the MetaMask wallet or something, because then you have it in game and you must use it before you can transfer it out.
Yes.
So this would be nice to, but maybe will not attract as much new players because all these airdrops for most players is, hey, I get something I can sell and get a few cents from it.
Yeah, that's all I'd have to say is an extra line in there. Lisette did say that if you see the convert spark button which stands out and you try and press it, it's not going to do anything. It just redirects you to open up the desktop app or the phone or whatever. So
it didn't stop me from pushing it just to see if she was right.
Yes, I'm sure we all did, yeah. And then you start second guessing yourself, oh, I've done something wrong. And I think that's what led a couple of people down the MetaMask route, but yes. So she did go on to say that airdrop day in the app is May the 2nd, which of course will be May the 3rd for us in down this way, which is what? May the 3rd is Friday. All right. So that means everybody should connect their Upland account to the platform by May the 1st. Okie dokie. Now we've got a quips later on that's going to talk about that, so I won't go into too more details about that. Probably aside from everything that went on with Washington, the Washington release, the other big news, of course, was the roadmap update video that came through. I will confess that I watched part of it at 2x speed, and I've just been so busy this week with tradies and all the rest of it that what I did was I copied and pasted the transcript and I put it in ChatGPT and asked it a whole bunch of questions, got it to summarize it and spit out some figures, and I said, what did it say about NFT royalties? And it was really good actually. I said, what did it say about UGC, or what did they say about this? And it was very, very helpful. So I know Desjack and a few others were not complaining, but wishing that sort of information could be provided in documentation form that people can review, reflect on a bit more easily. ChatGPT is a helpful tool, but it's no substitute for a really good put together document. But then, with all of the history of typos and that in documents and errors, maybe it's not a bad thing that it was avoided. So, anyhow, I did put it through ChatGPT. Well, first of all, I'll put it out to you guys. Did you watch it? What did you think? Any thoughts, opinions before I start blabbing off with the ChatGPT outputs?
I'm worried about all this new stuff they're trying to implement before just fix the things up that does not work good. But hey, we do this, and the performance score in racing and the funny twist in totems. I'm mostly worried about this. What will a funny twist be? Funny for the developers or funny for us?
Yeah, haha, funny or what? Yes.
Funny you say that, because I was watching it going, I bet you this goes for an hour and there'll be not a single mention of totems. And then they mention totems. I'm like, oh, damn it, I can't whinge about this now. And then I'm like,
I hope they wait until the end of May after our family holiday. And then
they did mention totems, but did they really?
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah, one thing that stuck out to me in the announcement that was put out about it, Lisette said, with an MVP approach, Upland continues to iterate and optimize, providing unique experiences like racing and NFT bundles. The minimum viable product approach. Yes, there's definitely a long history of that. But if that's your main approach, yeah, you kind of run the risk of starting all these things that you never end up finishing off, or takes years and years and years to get things finished off. So
yeah, but this seems to be a running gag, because Danny said it to Idan at the end. Okay, we just launching, and we know it is shit. And let's get your opinions, and then we can work on it. But that's.
Didn't he squirm when she said that? He seemed shifting his seat.
Yeah, just let it run in the from the mobile and audio only while driving the car. So I just
you definitely saw a reaction. Yeah. Body language definitely spoke a few words there.
Well, I guess that's one of the good parts of this kind of format is, it's going to be a bit clunky, but then you're going to get those kind of moments like that maybe weren't scripted and that sort of stuff. So that's probably one of the benefits for us.
I think that there's, in my opinion, there's no bad ideas they are on working or starting to do some little products to throw at us. But and monuments and the next chance to for the real big A's to buy something and get much more from it than all the small players. Okay, I'm not a small player with 20 million net worth, but if I see someone who's 500k net worth will never be able to use something of this monuments. So I don't think it's the right way to attract new players. Yeah, they said we need to do something for the OGs and for the players that are longer there. But hey, they are not only the big A's who can afford something like Lusail Stadium or something like this. And all these other landmarks and monuments. If I will get one, I'm sure I'm going to sell it to get a profit from it. If I ever will win something big.
I think that's a prime example of putting out new features before you've gone back and finished other things. Well, what about the bloody executive statues? Whatever happened about them?
They're in the backlog.
You know,
the answer is always they're in the backlog.
What happened to a dashboard?
Yeah, property management tools.
Yeah, make the executive statues. Make that the new fancy NFT that you can stake, or whatever that kind of system's going to be. This constant push for new and shiny. Buy. It's all well and good. As I say, they got to keep the lights on the office. I get it, but let's focus on some of the fundamentals as well. All right, let's have a look what ChatGPT said about it. So I'll do something a little bit different, and I'll share my notes because they're quite extensive if I'm able to. Maybe I'm not able to. Maybe I can't. Hang on. Swally, talk about something while I get that ready.
Sorry, I'm researching property prices.
There you go. Well, tell us all about it. What are you doing? What are you up to?
I'm dead broke. I got FOMO'd last night. No, I didn't really get FOMO'd. I went into Washington with the thought that this could be a really good treasure hunting city.
It is tier 1, no?
Well, the prices, the send prices last night were tier 1 prices. I don't know if anyone noticed that. Not tier 2 like it's supposed to be at the moment.
Another UDU.
Yeah, I don't know if they'll adjust that in the next, near future. But after, I think it's Santa Clara and those sort of cities, the little ones with, huge treasure hunting sort of webs, and you don't need many properties to have a successful web there, and good returns and stuff. So even with it being a tier 2 at the moment with only 28,000 properties, compare that to Queens, which is 370,000 properties, I'm looking at it going, wow. And then, not worst case scenario, even if it does go to full 100% release sooner rather than later, it's still only roughly 60,000 properties. So compare that to Queens with 370, or even actually the 370 was it San Francisco with 370. Anyway, they're still a lot smaller than those tier 1 cities. So I'm looked at it from that point of view, and I knew the bottom of the map was going to be high demand and expensive, so I thought it's better to mint than it is to buy a secondary market. So I kind of spent a lot of UpX. And this morning I woke up, or this morning I came home from work and I went, what have I done? But hopefully it works out. I mean, I went from the point of view, I look at the Assassins, I didn't do any research myself. I looked at the Assassins page and they had a few suburbs they picked as high probability or, better chance. So I try to focus on those ones because even if they're wrong, they're the ones that people are going to be buying. So that's where most of and the average price I probably spent last night was probably about 100,000 for a property, but there's so many of them are 200,000-300,000, and as you know, all the tiny ones get snapped up real quick. So and going through the best part of 2 million UpX in about 15 minutes. So that kind of hurt.
Wow. Yes. All right. Yeah, we'll expand on that when we get to that in a minute, but we'll just go back to the roadmap. Thanks for filling in that time while I got this ready. These are my podcast notes here. So, if you happen to be just listening on the Spotify, we'll just go through some of these. So, ChatGPT, I asked it to pull out what it thought were some of the main discussion points within it, and to start off by saying social activity features. The new social activity features in Upland, such as the ability to follow other players and access their activity feeds, are designed to foster a more connected and interactive community. I like that. I think that's cool. It's a bit stalkerish, but
I like the idea. And then they put the example of you can follow the Upland Bureau and see what they are doing, and I just thought, oh wait, now I'm the first in line to get all this information on all the questionable things they do with this account, buying properties for millions of upticks and something. So I don't need to go to Discord to the general and let's look what other discovers, but to get them first in line from the social feed. But hey, another social network to use. Hey.
Well, anything that brings more stuff in game that you can do, I'm all for that on the mobile app. So that's kind of good. Cool. Follow their transactions and whatnot. I don't know. I like that. Point number 2, Upland's product development philosophy emphasizes iterative releases, incorporating community feedback to refine and improve game features continuously. I mean, you could probably debate that a little bit, although they have done several things that, follow up on that. So fair enough. This approach ensures that the game evolves in a way that meets the player's needs and preferences. Dark mode. This philosophy is captured in the discussion about taking baby steps and the importance of the feedback loop that you get from the community, from the players, from the data that you start seeing. I mean, they say that, but it would be we used to have a feedback channel that got closed down, and then of course we've got the feedback forums. It'd be great if we had regular updates where, put a live update, for some of these patches that come through. If they could state, this patch has been done or this update has been done based on this feedback point. Mad props to, CernS4 who suggested it or something like that. Make it, there's easy ways to make it a lot more community orientated.
Yeah, even if some of the features aren't doing baby steps, but are premature birth. So finish it. They are doing constantly updates. Like in the racing, they added this maximum performance score. This just appeared. There was no announcement, no word about it that they have input. They announced it with the season racing that hey, we are doing this and they will get this usables and but suddenly the qualifying laps got back, then they got turned off, then they got turned back on, then we get these MPS scores in and no communication about it.
Yes. Yeah, it's interesting. And then I'm just catching up on the chat. LeBan says, I'm going to follow you. Ben, stalking time. Yeah, you're a bit late. I'm pretty boring these days. I don't get up too much these days. Yeah, you're probably a year or two.
That's why you cashed out all your properties. Huh?
Yes, cashed out, sold out, moved on, as some people say. Yes. All right, point number 3, legacy property sales. The introduction of legacy property sales offers a strategic opportunity for players to acquire properties at a discount. Kind of. This initiative not only benefits new players by making entry more accessible, but also rewards veteran players with exclusive deals. Yeah, yada, yada, yada. I mean, I think we covered that fairly extensively last week. Is it a discount? Sure. Are there better discounts available if you put in a little bit of time and effort? Absolutely. So it doesn't have the lottery system with, landmarks and all the rest of it and collection properties, but plenty of collection properties get sold under mint, especially in the lead up to or after city releases when people spend a little bit more than they perhaps wanted to. AKA like Swally did, or a la Swally.
Wait.
Number 4. Well, you're always smacking me. It's time to smack you back sometimes.
Fair enough.
Boot in every now and then. So number 4, car ecosystem enhancements. Updates to the car ecosystem include the introduction of new car models. Yeah, that's not really an update. That's just more stuff to sell and improved racing mechanics. Okay, that sounds good. These enhancements aim to provide a more immersive and engaging gameplay experience. Cool. Making automotive activities within Upland more dynamic and enjoyable. I wonder if they're talking about the consumables there, like, spark for fuel, or you got to put new tyres on. You got to buy your tyre NFT and it only lasts certain amount of time, or you have to burn it to be able to put a new set of tyres on. There's so much that could be done there.
Yeah. They just talked in the Idan said something like maybe the handling before curves or something like this can be enhanced by these updates. So, but nothing ultra concrete, but some ideas. I'm excited.
Yeah, if you watch some of those races that they do, some of the cornering is still very janky.
Yeah. Baby steps.
Yes. Baby steps. Eventually, soon, sometime, maybe baby steps.
Yeah, in the future. Yeah, in other words, to add to this list. Yes.
Yes. But there's going to be some considerable changes made into how turns are being made. Okay, so that might be how janky it is. All right. Number 5, upcoming seasons and events. Discussion of upcoming seasons in Upland underlines the significance of active participation in various missions. Yes, for your earnings. This approach is designed to keep the gameplay exciting and rewarding. Yeah, we know all about that. We're deep into the second season, so guys, make sure you see all the missions that you need to complete through. Okay, so that's kind of much to do about nothing, just reminding us what we need to do. Enhance utility for Sparklet. Hallelujah. Upland plans to significantly expand the utility of Sparklet, integrating it more broadly into the game's economy. This includes potential uses by third-party developers within their apps, promising a more versatile and dynamic economic environment within Upland. The concept is to create a robust ecosystem where Sparklet can be utilised for a variety of new and innovative purposes, enhancing its role as a cornerstone of the Upland economy. Interested to hear, did they mention anything about third-party staking on factories or anything like that?
I believe the answer to that is yes. I think Erdan mentioned that. I don't know. I think he said there's no date for it yet, but they're working on it.
Yeah, they're working on something like the Spark exchange feature that you can let them stake your Spark for you, and it's all this API and these mint shops. I don't know if this topic is coming later, where you can exchange your Sparklet for the minting of NFTs. There's a bit more utility coming, other than just, hey, you can build a home and do nothing with the building.
Yep. Yeah, I mean, we've been talking about that for ages.
And he mentioned interior design. He mentioned interior design. This is coming. I'm sure.
Yes.
Eventually.
So you're going to need a whole new set of
I think
and
maybe
showrooms.
Genesis Week, an announcement.
Ooh, could be.
An announcement, not the feature.
Number 7, which was the last major one that ChatGPT picked up on, was a focus on community and developer engagement. Upland is committed to fostering a robust developer ecosystem and enhancing community engagement. This involves supporting third-party developers with tools and opportunities, blah, 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 enriching user experiences. Yes, focus on community is evident. Okay, so that's kind of what's already happening anyway. We know about that. Speaking of community and developer engagement, what's the latest on the minigame situation, Billman?
Nothing to do.
So that's a classic example.
Yeah.
You know, that's these sorts of things. They get started and they just die a slow, painful death.
Yeah, they announced a hackathon in the time schedule, but no more information what to deliver, when to deliver, what to submit. All this, it's like the day job I'm doing. It's all about communications. If you don't open your mouth, nobody will understand what you want.
Yes, absolutely. So that was all the main features. I did ask ChatGPT, what are some of the maybe not so major ones that are worth diving into and having a chat about? And it mentioned tokenomics and royalty generators. We kind of spoke about that briefly. Upland is implementing a novel feature in the NFT ecosystem where certain assets can generate ongoing royalties for holders. Yeah, we talked about that. This system incentivizes players to invest in and hold on to these assets, potentially changing how value and income are perceived in the metaverse. Royalty generating NFTs. So, what about for all the NFTs that have already been generated? We covered that. I think it was
these royalty
last
generators were in the context of the monuments, because the monument is an NFT which will generate these royalties. There's no word about some of the map assets or something like this, where we are waiting for some royalties.
So that moves on to user-generated content and its impact, emphasizing the value of user-generated content. Upland encourages players to create and share their own experiences and assets. This strategy not only enriches the game's content, but also empowers its users, fostering a strong sense of community and personal investment in the game's world. Yes, of course, royalties would make a huge difference to that as well. Game mechanics and iterative improvements, I think we covered that. Infrastructure and development strategy. I was talking, I think it might have been Ace in Upland General last night or the night before, and we're talking about the frustration still in moving map assets one at a time in the mobile app and the constant white screen crashes and whatnot. The core infrastructure needs a lot of love and attention and optimization. So, it's all well and good, like it says here, support scalability and sustainable growth, but it needs to be back on the back of a stable, functional foundation. A lot of improvements to be done there. Transparency
if
and
we
communication.
have as much map assets as in Midtown Terrace in a whole city, this whole city will be unplayable if you don't switch it off.
Well, it pretty much is. Yeah. It's bad. It's really bad. I don't know what it's like on Android, but on iOS it's shocking. I don't have a super old phone, and everyone says, "Well, turn off bloody 3D assets and turn this off and turn that off." Yeah, that's all well and good, but if you're turning all that off, it's not really what it's supposed to be, is it?
Yeah.
So, anyhow, maybe you might want to take that one away, Bueller Man. Transparency and communication with the community.
Yeah. Talking about is not doing it.
Yeah. We're going to talk about that a bit later, so we can skip that. NFT and Metaverse integration. Discussion on the integration of NFTs within the Upland Metaverse highlights the game's commitment to leveraging blockchain tech to provide a richer, more immersive experience. Yes, I think that's all well and good. A lot of stuff they're doing with Ethereum that's kind of heading in that direction. It'd be great to see them go back and do something with the wax, all the wax NFTs that were sold, moved into the game. They're all sitting in limbo. I believe you still can't take them out, which is, if you were somebody that moved a whole bunch of wax assets over, you'd be a bit frustrated, I would imagine. And then economic models and player incentives. The economic strategies in Upland are designed to incentivize player participation and investment through don't say that, ChatGPT, through various mechanisms, including the previously mentioned royalty generating NFTs and UGC. Yeah, okay. And long-term vision and strategic goals. Yep. Blah, blah, blah. All right. So, yeah, there was a lot to unpack there. Like I said, I haven't yet watched it myself. I will go back and do that. If you're interested in getting that transcript that I put together from ChatGPT, if you send me a DM, I'll be able to email it to you or something. It's quite a hefty document. And it's all, I asked ChatGPT to put the timestamps in parentheses for everything, so it's pretty easy to go back and cross-reference if that's something you want to do. All right. What else do we have? So on the back of that, they have also announced that there is a Q2 AMA coming up that will take place live in the Upland City Centre Plaza and on YouTube on Friday, April 26th. So that is Saturday our time. Now, I did get this up. I got it up and I had a bit of a giggle. Where is it? Here we go. Saturday at 2:30 a.m. What do you reckon, Swally? Getting up at Saturday, 2:30 a.m., or will you be just getting back from work, or what do you reckon?
Man, give me 1 sec. Sorry, I was looking at properties again.
Sorry, mate.
The AMA. No, I'll watch
Saturday,
that on replay.
2:30 a.m.
I'll watch that on replay.
Yes, 2x speed for that one for me too. So yes, there is an option there to submit questions, of course. If you have a burning question, probably a good idea to do so. They do tend to bash through a bunch of them. It says head on over to the general channel in the in-game chat and drop your question. They're going to be collecting questions from players from now through to Thursday until 1 p.m. PT, and they may even take some live questions on the day of. Well, isn't that what an AMA should be?
Unscripted.
Yeah, it should be. Not, and that's a lot of the negative feedback they've had in the past is that, you just cherry pick the questions that you want to answer, blah, 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 blah. It'd be great if it was live. But then they are a company. It's pretty good that they do that at all. There's very few other, major tech companies or even minor ones that do stuff like that as well. So, rein in expectations there a little bit, I guess. And they do say after the AMA, you can join the co-founder and co-CEO Iden Zuckerman and the Upland Chief of Staff Danny Brown-Wolf for drinks and conversations in City Centre Plaza. I saw that. Now you can buy drinks and it makes you do a fancy dance or something. I mean, it might be fun if you're wearing a bloody virtual reality headset or something, but I don't know. Can't imagine it's much fun if you're in potato mode and you can't get in and you're looking at all these people doing fancy moves. Anyhow, bit of a laugh. All right, we'll move on to the main topic that I got pegged for the show. Of course, that's all about the Washington, D.C. announcement. My first reaction was, boring, another US city. Oh, whoop-de-doo, it's the capital of the USA. Couldn't care less. I think I said on Twitter, I'm about as excited for that as I would be for a Bakersfield expansion. Originally wasn't going to do anything at all there aside from just buy my one showroom property, and that's about it. I certainly wasn't going to get up at 2 a.m. to take part in it, and that was especially so given that the property prices that they advertised, which actually that turned out to be a positive for me, because I thought, well, if they're saying that it's going to be that expensive, well, there's going to be plenty to left on the back end to mint. So yes, I don't know. Thoughts, opinions? I know there's a few people that sent me DMs that were about as unenthusiastic as I was. I'm sure if you are an American, this is something that was probably, you're all about it. I know a lot of people were looking to get, seeing if they could find some landmark properties that hadn't actually been locked and whatnot. What do you think? Washington, D.C.?
I was going to let someone else talk. I already told you my thoughts. In terms of the city release, I wasn't overly yay. But when I stopped and thought about the treasure hunting aspect of it, I thought this could be the next Tokyo or London before the nerf. And I don't see it ever getting nerfed because they said it won't. Famous last words.
Yes.
So I looked at it from that point of view, and I've been just racking my brain all week going, do I really want to start up a new treasure map, new web? And I'm over treasure hunting via the phone. I absolutely hate it with a passion. And if I can treasure hunt for the same sort of returns, but in less time in Washington, because it's a smaller city, I'm all for that.
Yep.
So that's purely where my thought is with this, not so much anything else. Like, I didn't get in the hype of owning the White House. I mean, it would be a pretty cool landmark. I don't see how there would be a better one in the world, pretty much. I was thinking about the last couple of days, like what landmark anywhere in the world could beat that? And I mean, there's some pretty cool ones. I don't know if the pyramids and stuff like that ever get on there, but
Sydney Opera House, maybe give it a run for their money a little bit.
That'd be the best Australian one, but I don't see a bet in the White House.
No.
I can't see anything surpassing the White House. So whoever ends up with that, I don't know how they're going to give it away or sell it or what, but that would be pretty amazing to own. If I ended up with it somehow, I don't know if I want to part with it, but then again, it'd be worth so much that I'm sure people like Abdullah would be sniffing around. So, yeah.
Yes.
But treasure hunting, like if you are looking at getting to treasure hunting, I seriously think you should look at the options of Washington, because I think it could be a really good base to start a web. Even it might be a little bit expensive, but it'll be worth it long term, like in 12 months' time or so. If you have the bigger picture, 12 months' time, it could be worth it.
Yeah, it's a pretty good shape. It's nice and small and compact. So how crazy did you go? You said it was very expensive down in this bottom right area.
Yeah, so all the bottom was always kind of like that downtown. So looking at the Assassins page, they named a few different spots. I didn't get anything in that right-hand side of where you are now, but I picked up 3 in downtown, 3 in that Fogarty or whatever it's called, Fogarty Bottom or something, and just went with what they were suggesting might be collections and just picking those up. And before I knew it, I looked at my balance and went, oh crap, I'm well under $1 million, and I started with 2.
Wow.
So, I mean, I can share what I bought if you really want, but it wasn't cheap. But if they're even half right with the collections, I'll be all right. I'm just a little bit stressed about not having any money for the collection reveal. And it's not so much in this area that my collection reveal problem will be. It's one of those unexpected suburbs up north or something that might be a collection that will sell out real quick. Because it's a bit cheaper. That's probably my more concern, like trying to pick up 2 or 3 or 3 or 4 properties in that sort of area. Because I don't own anything north at the moment. Like, and if you go around looking, it's all pretty empty still. So building a web slowly up there isn't going to be a problem. There's going to be a few little spots, but every map's always going to have a few little holes that you just can't afford to buy properties in. So I think that for most people will be that bottom, especially that bottom east corner. But
yeah, I didn't get up for the release. I got up, I don't know, I think it was like 4:30, 5 o'clock for the usual toilet run, and I just jumped in, and I happened to be real close to this one here in, what is it, Wakefield. So I pinged that one. It's 800 up squares. So I got that from my showroom. It's weird. It won't let me click on things.
Why'd you put it crooked?
That was 241,000. So I got hold of that one, and then I was pretty much going to go back to bed, but I thought I'll have a bit of a look around, and I found this spot a little bit further up in Chevy Chase where there was a whole bunch here that were in the 20k range. So I minted up a whole bunch of these. These are just USD flippers. Not that one. I don't know. It must be because I went to 120 something zoom. It's all screwed up. Won't let me click on what I'm supposed to be clicking on. So yeah, what were these? 21,000. They were all in that range anyway. So I got all those, and I figured I'll flip those all for USD. Those are the small ones. But then I thought, well, why don't I try and get a couple of bigger ones to flip for USD? So I went back to Wakefield and saw what was available there, and there was a couple other half-decent ones there. So they're all just USD flippers. But those 2 bigger ones, I'll hold off and flipping them until after collection reveal, but those smaller ones, I'll start selling those or putting them up for sale as soon as I can.
Yeah.
So, yes, I mean, anybody just want to go ballistic with the whole math frig up? I mean, that's I mean, what do? Do you laugh? Do you cry? Do you tear your hair out? Do you facepalm your skin off?
But how many properties really were at that 4,000 range? Like, it couldn't have been that many. I didn't see one. But then I was predominantly down south, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, there's a few 4 or 5, but even that's still expensive when you compare it to a lot of other cities. Even Manhattan had cheaper properties than that.
But there's literally thousands and thousands and thousands of properties that are under the figure that they said, the 44,000 figure. So I've got to give a shout out to Izanaki here, who is the owner of that 4,411 mint price property. He's got it up for sale at 44,110, which was the advertised minimum. So that was what I was laughing about before we got kicked off. I'm like, yeah, good on you, mate. That's freaking hilarious. Love it.
Hope someone buys it for that joke.
Yeah. So there's literally thousands and thousands and thousands of properties that were below that amount. Now, okay, so it was a silly error. It shouldn't have happened. Yeah, righto. People make mistakes and this, that, and the other thing. The thing that kind of grinds my gears a little bit is that when that announcement came out and everybody saw that minimum price, there was a lot of questions raised. A lot of people on Twitter and on the Discords were saying, what the hell? Why is there no FSAs? I put a tweet up about we've just had a Sparklet airdrop campaign to getting new users on board and their first experience in a city release, which, let's face it, city releases are one of the most engaging, exciting aspects of the whole game. And they're going to have to drop $50 to buy one property. Seems a bit weird. The justification in Twitter and also on Discord was city releases are not for new players. I know they've said that before, but that just seems... I know they say their data backs it up, but that just seems wild to me. Just absolutely crazy. And then it turns out that this was a prime city for new players. You know, this would have been a great city if you're a new player to get over there and try and get yourself some property. So, I don't know.
It's not so much that they made the mistake. It's the fact that it took them so long to admit or announce that there was an error made. I mean, that's,
and
I guess,
doubling down.
well, they didn't give us 3 days notice now, or 2 days notice now of this error. And straight away, everybody was like, well, that's pretty expensive. And it wasn't like you said, it was not like that anyone wasn't talking about it. So surely they were aware of the error almost immediately. So
it was full defense mode. It was full defense mode, like pushing back. Like you would think maybe this is blockchain. It's a set of data. It's not like somebody's got a spreadsheet that has all these numbers somewhere. Maybe if your community is saying what's going on here, maybe you just double check before you double down and make it worse, because there were so many people that there's literally thousands of people went to bed or had no plans to do anything there because they thought it was too expensive. And then you wake up and you find out that wasn't the case. Man, you're going to be pissed off. Absolutely mental. I don't know. Peeler Man, and I see Lily, you're in too. I don't know. Did you want to comment on any of that? Thoughts, opinions?
Not being in that position, I wasn't too upset. I was very shocked that the mistake made it that far until just before the release. But, it kind of didn't affect me. So you can imagine how devo you'd be if it did affect you, though. Like, it's really sad that it got that far.
Yeah, absolutely. Or what about the people who read that announcement and then fire sailed, properties and collection properties that maybe they wouldn't have done otherwise? I mean, it's not good. Mistakes happen, but this is, yeah,
when they make mistakes like that really affect people's gameplay, you feel really sorry for the people who changed their gameplay for a city release only to find out that they didn't need to, because that's just devastating to your account when you do that.
I know there's been a bit of chat back and forward with but think of where we've come, like go back to the Brooklyn burn and all of that, where everybody gets up and then the whole city crashes and burns. But this is just basic human error that, there was a couple of days there where people were asking the questions, all it would have taken is one person to go back and double check the data list and they would have identified it. There has been calls where it should have been delayed. The release should have been delayed at least 24 hours to give people a chance to change their plans or get on over there. Can't really argue with that. No.
That would have suited me. They did. I was working, so I wasn't happy.
Well, what happened was people started floating over the properties, going, hang on, this math does not add up. And that's the only thing that pointed to there's a mistake somewhere.
I think it was obvious when they released the 3 blending properties, because one of those was well and truly under the 44,000.
Yeah. When I went to bed last night was about just before 11 o'clock, and people were kind of getting up early and getting prepared, and that's when all the questions were being raised. And I looked at it myself and just went, oh man, this is going to be crazy. So I kind of went to bed and thought, what am I going to wake up to here? So, a lot of people weren't aware that you could do that in the city release. So if you're watching or listening along, I'll just give you the quick tip on how you do that. So if you are in a city release and the prices aren't showing yet, if you click on your block explorer, there's a kind of a market button in the middle. If you click on that, it shows you whatever properties are along your tail. It shows the mint price and the earnings and whatnot. So that's how people were able to get that data. People were posting screenshots showing prices down under 20,000, and that's when everybody started saying, well, what the actual hell? And poor old Squall Muzza last night, he was just right in the thick of it. Got a feel for him too, been caught between a rock and a hard place trying to do the best job with, pretty shoddy information.
It's not the first time.
Yeah, that's the thing, isn't it? I mean, this is... I did have several people reach out in DMs and chats back and forwards today, varying degrees of being upset, frustrated, super angry and whatnot. There was a few jokey posts going around. I don't know if people want that put out essentially, but it's the whole intern thing again. It's a bit of a wild one. What does Mesme call it? Yeah, what's his name? Randy the intern. Randy the intern's been interning for the last 3 years. He must have a rich dad or something. For God's sakes, Randy, quit already and focus on your 3rd year as a freshman college student and your college water polo career. I mean,
it just
you
keeps
can
coming back to
tongue
this.
in cheek about it.
Just keeps coming back to this communication issue that Upland seem to have. It's like almost every release these days, everyone's asking questions, going, "Hang on, this doesn't make sense. What are you talking about? What do you mean by this word or these words?" It's almost every single post at the moment. Like, we accept people make mistakes. Everyone makes mistakes, but to take so long to fix this one, I think, was the biggest problem. Even with the temporary collection, like people are like, okay, it's like the last temporary collection. Like, do we only have a month to put it in a collection and then it's stuck there, or does it go away after a month, or what the story here is? Like, it's just the words that they're using. I don't know.
Yeah. We talked about that ages ago, where it'd be good if they had like a small community team, which they kind of do with the UCN, to put it out there and test these sort of things, because the community's going to find the holes, and we're going to have the most obvious questions. But then that can kind of backfire too, because I know that last meeting that we did, there was some information that they shared that was supposed to stay between us, and then that got leaked, and then it was a whole kerfuffle. So, yeah, I mean, I don't know, it's a tricky one. Just catching up on chat, Slack. I would have made a real effort to be a part of this release. This effing sucks, as I'm finding out just now. Laban, they could have postponed the release by a day. Trendy Prop, the only thing I didn't do because of high prices was research collection prediction. Otherwise, I would have checked in advance which areas would be expensive or cheaper. And Buelerman said they did advertise it as an expensive city, so maybe it was some last-minute change to release low mints. I don't know.
It wasn't a last-minute change.
Yeah.
No way.
I would think that if we checked the data and there wasn't that 4,411 mint property, you would say then that's the case. I don't know. Buelerman, you're probably the one to investigate that on the back end, if there's a way to do it, but yeah. Yes. Bit of a shitty situation all around. But as far as the city release itself went, seemed to go pretty smoothly for me, except for because I woke up after that whole kerfuffle with the Stars and Stripes. So X1 said, heads up, we're testing the new Stars and Stripes scavenger hunt feature, which might cause some additional lag. And then 11 minutes after the city opened, we're temporarily turning off the Stars and Stripes models to help reduce lag. They'll be reactivated at 10 a.m. PT, which was an hour later. And that was pretty much bang on the hour later they reactivated. So, yeah, obviously, even though that announcement had been put out and there was large swathes of the community that weren't taking part, it was all still too much for it to handle. So normally they turn off 3D models and all that, which that was kind of interesting to me, because I know normally when I buy my showroom property at my, whatever it is, 4 a.m. piss break, well, in South Lake Tahoe and Miami, I went to start construction on that straight away, but they usually block all that because of the map assets and whatnot that they were showing as part of this. You could actually start building straight away. Yeah, they did not turn off buildings like in some past releases, but I assume that's because they had to keep that sort of stuff on for the scavenger hunt map assets. Now, what did you think about that whole system? I thought it was cool to try something different. The whole temporary nature of those collections kind of got me scratching my head. It just seems like pure FOMO fuel, especially you're talking about ultra rares and this, that, and the other thing. Temporary? Why? Why are they temporary?
Why not just give away map assets?
Yeah.
Like I was, like I said, I was at work, so I'm laggy as whatever at work anyway. I won't go into why. So I couldn't tell whether it was me or the platform. I didn't see any of the map assets. I wasn't looking. I didn't care. Would have been nice to pick one up. I haven't checked. I don't even know how to check. I think there was a list produced somewhere. But yeah, temporary collections, I don't get. That's why when the last ones came out and people trying to buy mine, I just went, yeah, take it. Like, if you want to pay 10x for it, take it. It's only a month. Like, I don't know what you're going to get from it. So as a result, because it's temporary, absolutely wasn't even bothered by it. If it was permanent, maybe, but I don't know. Just make it as map assets. Just leave them there as map assets and give them away, sort of thing, as a bonus.
Yeah, it was a weird one. Like I said, it's just got me scratching my head. Really, I'm like, why would you go like crazy for something that's just going to disappear? It's not like in the old days where you kept that collection chip on your Block Explorer or something. That disappears unless you keep the collection activated as well. So it's not even really a flex. I mean, it is a short-term opportunity, perhaps do a bit of extra, flippage or something, I suppose. But yeah, bizarre one. All right, we shall move on anyhow. So yes, if you did take part, hopefully you got what you're after, and best of luck for collection reveal. Don't forget, if you are putting properties up for sale, you should always envision that perhaps one of them might be an ultra rare, so don't get caught with your pants down. Listed for something you would be happy enough to wake up and find out that's been sold. Yes, because collection reveal, that'll be here before we know it. All right, we'll move on to some quips. If you have an Upland related question, insight, provocation, or statement that we can dive into on the weekly Upland Down Under podcast, then there's a link to the quips Google form in the description. And if you include your in-game name in your submission and it's used on the show, you'll win yourself some kind of prize. There's a couple of older quips there that I kind of skipped over because these two that I got today is kind of relevant for the discussion, so I will get to those old ones. Anyhow, we start off this week with a question from Laban, who bemoans, here is one, Washington, D.C., new city, let's get excited, all good and well, but I did not feel it this time. It's kind of talking about the vibe there. Sorry, Upland, and the prices did scare me a bit, and probably a whole lot of other people. Lowest mint price of 44,000 UPX. A lot of dough if you're competing for getting that low one times 3. Well, that's the other thing too. They said the minimum was 44,000, so everyone was thinking, well, holy shit, what's a good average, burner in air quotes property going to be? I was sort of thinking anything in the 60k range if the lowest is 44. So that's a good point. So yes, Levan sat that one out mainly because he didn't feel it, and it was right smack in the middle of some kids' activity, but also because of the high price. Now, this news for a city release came as a bomb on us with a 3 days notice. Also fine by me, nothing bad about that. Yeah, no worries there for me as well. But what the heck happened 1.5 hour prior to release? The minimum price was an error, an effing big one as well, as we've kind of discussed, from 44k to 4k. Yeah, that's that's what I mean. I mean, you laugh, you cry, you facepalm. What do you do? How in the world did no one catch that on Upland? Yeah, that's my biggest question too. How did you not go back and just double check? There was that many questions being asked. Instead of getting defensive and kind of saying this, that, and the other thing, we'll just go and check it. Not only was it typed in the article review, hopefully and published, it was also discussed and pointed out in several YouTube channels, on Discord, and probably other places. Yeah, everyone was talking about it. It was the talk of the town, as they say. My point with this, as Laban says, has the distance between the community and the Upland team grown larger than before? Are we getting more disconnected? Good question. Any thoughts, opinions on that?
I can't argue that they're not. That's the problem. I think it's much harder to come up with an argument they're not being disconnected. I know they've tried to do things in the past like that reaction video to Mark Ferguson, but that's been a long time.
Yes. Sorry, Kinda. I just realised that you must have bounced out from the stage as well. I've just put you back in if you wanted to chime in too much. Are we getting more disconnected? Well, I guess I'd say, again, I think we're kind of, if you look at it from the flip side, maybe we're a bit spoiled. Like, what other platform out there has this much access and this much engagement with the development teams or the managers and the CEOs and all of that sort of stuff? I think Upland's a bit of a unicorn in that regards, so that has to be taken into consideration somewhat. Are we getting more disconnected? Possibly. I think probably, if I had to put money on it, I would say it's probably due to what I believe is a fairly drastic downsizing of the team. You know, don't forget that Upland has survived all through the bear market, a very, very extensive bear market where many other apps and games and blockchain projects have gone goodbye time. So maybe that's an aspect of it. Not enough people, too much work, too many responsibilities. I don't know. All that we can kind of say definitively is that these sorts of seemingly very simple and silly errors are happening fairly consistently, which of course that leads to greater and greater frustration in the community.
Where the disconnect comes in, I think, a lot too, is you've got these community managers that are meant to sort of be the middle person between us and the teams, but they don't know the answers.
Yes,
absolutely. More often than not,
Bill,
they're as surprised as we are.
Yeah, and I didn't realise you'd bounced out of the stage. I don't know how that happened, Billman. Apologies for that. Yeah, Squall Moz is a classic example of that. He kind of copping it from both ends, but he's just doing the best he can with the information he has available at any given time. So, yeah.
It's the same as when they turned the red arrows off for treasure hunting, and everyone started jumping on the Discord going, what the hell, it's not working. And he was like, yeah, no worries, I'll send off to the dev team. And then half an hour later, we get an announcement, oh, we've turned the arrows off. Like,
yeah.
How has he not got a heads up that they're about to do that? Because surely they know that it's going to, people are going to blow up about it straight away.
Yeah. So it may be that we're not getting more disconnected, but that's certainly the vibe. And, the whole thing that set Upland apart from every other thing from Genesis, basically, is the community aspect. So if the community's feeling that way, Upland should, and I hope they will, invest a bit of time, energy, efforts to kind of get that sorted out a bit better. People make mistakes. It's easy to do, but yeah, when it's a repeated pattern of behaviour, something definitely needs to change there for sure. So thank you for that, Laban. We got another one this week, this time from Angry Ursia, who asks, now this is a classic, this one, do you think the Sparklet drop for Chapter 1 will equal the points we got? So Angry had a 5x multiplier with 6,000 points, and he says, I will be very happy to get another 6 Spark.
No.
I think you're being very optimistic there. Yeah, no, that ain't going to happen.
They gave us a guide, didn't they?
I would be surprised. I don't think we've had any information at all.
No, they gave us a guide. Level 1 was like $5 worth, and up through to 25. I'm sure you put that on your video.
Yeah.
From $5 through to 25,000.
Yeah, that's for the entire campaign. So, if you're talking level, what was it? Level 0 or level 1 is $5 for the whole campaign, 5 chapters. Yeah, you're talking about fractions of a spark here. 6,000 points.
I think they told these the points are not something they rely on. It's only the level. So even if you need only 1 point more to get to the next level, you're didn't get it. And all this someone mentioned in I think it was Howard Beach in the channel. If these $25,000 are the pool for everyone, so in around about 50 sparks for everyone who participates, but this would be way less. So maybe I think they say, okay, we have only an example. We are going to do 5 chapters, and we are going to if you get in all 5 chapters level 10, including the chapter G for the attendees, then maybe you can get this $25,000 worth of in Spark, and so maybe 0.1 Spark if you reach level 3 or 4 or something like this. I'm sure they won't present us any sort of mathematical formulas. How they divide the sparks or the sparklets to the levels. I think they are now checking how many players got which levels, and then they will decide, okay, this level we will
dish it out.
Give maybe 1,000 sparklet, and this only 100 sparklets, and this will be will be an announcement surely after everyone gets sent some Spark in game.
Yeah, what am I, level 3? I think I'd be very surprised if I got more than 0.03 for the first chapter.
That was going to be, I guess, 0.01 for level 1 and so on.
Yeah, and then, like Buellaman said, there's a certain pool for each level and then it gets divvied up. But I think... What's that? That was a week, so, you got to relate that to the in-game Spark that we have. It's kind of almost like the earning situation they've done for Collection Reveal. Well, this is kind of almost like the challenge now that we may have to do in the future to get that weekly Spark balance. So, I'm not expecting it's going to be much. Maybe if you get to, say, level 5 or something by the end, maybe if we're really lucky, you might get a quarter of a Spark or something like that, or whatever that works out to. 25,000 Sparklet or however it works out to. Not that many, but anyhow. Have to wait and see that whole thing. Take a shot.
What happened when you guys converted your Spark?
No, it's not working yet. They mentioned, what did I say? May 2nd, that's all going to take place, I believe. Yeah. Which is frustrating because the button's it's right there staring you in the face and everyone's clicking on it. Yeah, no, it's not working yet. It just redirects you.
But there's someone with heavy noise.
Okay, yeah.
So we'll have to wait and see, but I don't think it's going to be that much anyhow. Anyway, cheers for that, Laban and Angry Ursia. You've both earned yourselves 10,000 UPX after fees, and reminded that if you do go ahead and click the link in the description to submit a quips and you want to claim your prize just like they did, then you have to include your in-game name. Otherwise, I can't send you the UPX and I'll just keep it to myself. All right, moving on to the dynamic node builders, getting to know community members. In this week's Getting to Know Community Members segment, from Mesme and the other dynamic node builders, they're featuring, now make sure I get this right, Manu Miyoto 21, who is currently an executive with a net worth just under 30 million UPX with 922 properties and a whopping 41.35 Spark. She's on your tail there, Swally. Her home residence is in the Praia de Bandera neighbourhood of Rio, which is currently sitting 4th in the neighbourhood ratings leaderboard. Not only that, Manu Miyoto 21 is a very busy and experienced UGC creator in Upland, and if you've got a good memory, you might remember that she was the winner of the inaugural 1 million UpX main prize giveaway on the old version of the UDU podcast Christmas show way back in 2022. Let's have a look at the sneaky peeky as we do at what Manu Miyoto has got going on.
Ben, who's sending all these noises? Kind of
very hard to hear you.
Can you mute in from your end?
What's happened? Sorry, Swally, what did you say?
I was just saying it's very hard to hear you. Grinder's mic's just making a bit of noise.
All right, I might.
No, it's gone.
Oh, he's put himself on mute. Audio issues, my favourite. I love it. All right, so what's Manu Miyoto got going on? Pretty steady progress there with properties, although there's a big jump there. Look at that. Properties 300, bang, 500, bang, 600, 700. So she was on a bit of a tear there and then kind of plateaued off a little bit there. Massive difference between mint net worth and properties net worth. So she's been buying up the secondary there somewhere. And overall, pretty steady account. Now, did I get the figure? Where's the bloody picture of it? Oh, I must have shut it down. Let me just get that sorted out. I'll put that down, and I'll put that down, and I'll put that down. Where are we? There we go. Let's check her answers out. Hopefully that's showing up properly. Yeah, there we go. So let's see what she's got going on. In-game name, Manu Miyoto 21, Uplander since September 2021. Been around for a very long time. Been to Vegas, no. Superpower, persuasion, tattoos, yes. Occupation, help build your house. Bucket list, travel. One thing you will never do again. Trader on the stock exchange. Pet peeve, loud chewers. Most common internet search history, computer programming. Celebrity you know the most about, Angelina Jolie. Guilty pleasures, long baths. Famous fact about where you live, home of Carnival. And 3 Uplanders you chat with regularly, Rockdrigo, Fred Barros, and Hanzilla. Good on you, Money Miyoto. So if you would like to get yourself involved in what they've got going on at the DMB, or if you know of someone who the community might be interested in learning a bit more about, then there's a link in the description to the Dynamic Node Builders Discord. Jump on over there and tell them that the UDU podcast sent you. All right, now the fun part of the evening where we give away a whole bunch of shizzle. Let me just make sure I've got this fixed up before we go any further, because that's all wrong. Yeah, sorry about that. So the weekly challenge. Last week's challenge, if you saw, was to get yourself in the contest channel within the MVA server and let us know what you think the economic or community effects are going to be of Upland flooding the community with free Sparklet when it becomes available for trading on crypto exchanges. Reminder that specific price speculation, oh yeah, we did all that, that's all done. Everyone adhered to that, so well done. Prizes, your name will roll on a list of all entrants for the chance to win 10,000 UPX after fees. Get yourself another entry to the 2024 end of year prize giveaways, like Mani Miyoto, she won a million UPX. The one and only Bueller Man in chat, he won it last year. We'll be giving another 1 million away at the end of this year. If you want to get entries into that, well, you have to take part in the weekly challenge. Also, thanks to Kushal089 and his map asset metaventure called Rustic Arts, situated at 7754 Jellico Avenue in LA. All entries for this week's weekly challenge will also go in the running to win one of 5 Rustic map assets that will be given away. So 6 chances to win that, plus there's a bonus prize, which we'll get to in a second. Let me shut down some of these bloody tabs I've got open so I can work out what the hell I'm doing. I can close that, and we'll jump on over to some giveaways. And don't forget, we got Swaley's giveaways coming up here in a second as well. So this is for the weekly challenge, and this is going to be straight up for the 10,000 units. Best of luck, who's got it? Oh, Elstack's just missed it. Jazzy Jazz has just missed it. Sick Ranches, I believe.
Yay! What?
Sick Ranches. Hopefully that 10,000 UPX, you can put that towards hopefully making you feel better soon. Before we do the other giveaways, might as well just outline the bonus. Hey, so the bonus prize, the 5,000 UPX bonus prize, I've given that this week to Jacob for Jesus. His reply was, the in-game economy of Sparklet is, in his thoughts, based primarily on the value of a Spark hours for renting. Giving things away will also reduce value, but I think we are likely to see an increase in value as Sparklet are moved out of the game and onto other chains or exchanges. That will leave fewer available to build in the game. That got me thinking, yeah, that's interesting, because there's definitely going to be 2 aspects of it. There's going to be just you're out in the wild, you're in the crypto space being traded, but then, of course, there is also the in-game economy. It's going to be fascinating to see the back and forward play between that as people take advantage of arbitrage opportunities to move Sparklet backwards and forwards. Yeah, really fascinating, that one. So thank you, Jacob, for Jesus. 5,000 UPX on the way for you. All right, now we're going to roll this 5 more times. I will take names off out of the list for this one. So these are for the 5 Rustic Worlds, care of Kushal089. All right, first one of those goes to Elslack. Volga Uplander, hit yourself. Congratulations. I'll zoink you out of there. That's number 1. Number 2 goes to... Ooh, Jazzy Jazz just missed it. So, Sick Ranches has got himself another prize. Sick Ranches, take you out of there. Well done. 3 more chances to win. Lifestyles missed it again. Shackleton, congratulations. There's one for Shacky Shack. 2 more to go. Now he's just missed it. Bueller Man. Congratulations, Bueller Man. A Rustic Well on the way for you as well. And last but not least, Jacob for Jesus just missed one. Angry gets another one, I think. Angry Smiley, Ursia. All right. Congratulations to all of you, and thank you for taking part. I will put you in touch with Cashel 089, and we'll work out how we're going to get those to you. Before we move on, I'll outline this week's challenge. So this week's challenge is to get yourself in the contest channel with in the NBA server. If you don't know what that is or where it is, there is a link to it in the description, both in Spotify and the YouTubes. And let us know what you think about the Washington, D.C. minimum mint price fiasco. Did that error impact on your decision not to attend the release? What do you think that Upland can do moving forward to try to ensure these types of silly mistakes don't keep happening, or at the very least, happen less frequently? Prize pool, your name will roll on the list of all entrants for the chance to win 10,000 UPX after fees, another entry in the year-end giveaway prizes. There's also the 5,000 bonus prize, and there is another 5 Rustic Arts Rustic Well map assets to give away, care of Cashel 089 and his metaventure at 7754 Jellico Ave in LA. So that's the weekly challenge. Make sure you get yourself involved there. Now we're going to do the live participants. Now, what do we got? We've got Laban, Maui, Swali. I usually write these down, but I completely forgot about that. No, that's Swali. Laban, Maui, Swali, Elslack. Who else is in? Kinda, Buellaman, Lily. Who am I missing? Missing somebody. Laban, Maui, Swali, Kinda, Buellaman, Lily. Elslack. Trendy. That's who I'm missing. Sorry, Trendy. Alright, I think that's everybody. So this is going to be a Samurai Aquatics map asset, your choice of a Garden Bridge or a Love Heart Jacuzzi goes to Elslack. Got another one. Elslack. Alright, now remind me to do a thing that Elslack's got going on as well. Alright,
yeah, just about to say that.
Yes. While I'm getting that all organised, let's do your giveaway. Hey, I do have this, so maybe you could just give us a blitz of what it was all about before we run the draw.
All right, so in 3 days' time, our time, so 4 days for you Americans. Although, is it after midnight? Maybe it is, I don't know. Well, the 28th of April is my 2-year anniversary, so I wish it was my 5-year anniversary or something closer to it, but, 2 years is 2 years. So I thought, why not, celebrate a little bit by giving away some stuff. So I've got a bunch of houses or properties in South Lake Tahoe that's got the new, unique, but the limited time only unique build, the second one that they did, that you had to buy the pass for. I minted up about 10 of those and to see if they would sell, and apparently they're not selling. Not very well anyway. But I'm giving one away, so they've got a mint price of initial mint price somewhere in the 20,000. Plus, there's obviously the property that's built on it, and there's 2 nodes for Tycoon, one of which is unlocked, and one's obviously locked, one unlocked, which has got a random node on it. So depending on which property you get, whichever node it is, it's just luck of the draw. And then that's first prize, and then 20 Spark for 7 days second prize, and 10 Spark for 7 days third prize. So initially I had it in my head that I'd put the Spark on like an apartment building or someone's factory or Elslack's track, something like that. But other people have said, they wanted to build a bunch of micro houses and stuff like that, which is fine. The only problem there is, like, if a micro house runs out while I'm at work or sleeping or something like that, you might lose a bit of time until I get it onto the next one. So, I mean, if you've got a bigger build, it probably makes sense that I can hopefully help chip some of that time off it for you. Didn't quite get to the 100 participants. I think we ended up with about 93 or something like that. As you can see, there's quite a few names there. So for the last 2 weeks, I've been going back through Twitter and just checking all the names on there, making sure that I haven't missed anybody. So I'm fairly confident in saying everybody that has put their name on there is on the list. So I guess all there is left is good luck.
Yes, all right. Yeah, it's a pretty bad feeling when you do a giveaway and you realise you missed somebody. I've done that plenty of times. So, all right, so we've got 3 prizes. We're just going to go in order. The first roll is going to be for the
first prize, yep.
All right, let's do it. Best of luck, everybody. And my name's
You won it last time. But...
No, not this time. It goes to Jwank 20 Kerr.
Okay, I'm going to have to write this down.
Congratulations.
So, all right, so...
Yeah, I'm writing it down too, mate. Now, am I removing names and rolling again?
Yeah,
or
remove,
does Jwank get a second?
No, remove them, because I don't want people winning. Yeah.
All right. Second roll, 20 spark for 1 week. That's lucky again. No whammies, no whammies, no whammies. See my name on there? Gadget 914. Congratulations.
Get the 20 spark.
Gadget 914. That's for the 20. Yep. And one more time we roll it. 10 spark for 1 week. Congratulations, Wally. The anniversary. This Lily might have it. Oh, she just missed it. Onyasa. Congratulations. Very good.
All right, so people, if I haven't contacted you, feel free to contact me either on, or probably the best place is on Discord. Same name as always, Swally129. Otherwise, you can try Twitter. I'm better on Discord though, or in game even. But I'll try and look you guys up. And well, the Spark ones are easy. I'll just find your builds and stake. For the property jank, you'll have to contact me and work out how we're gonna do that. I'll probably just get you to offer 1 UpX on it, but we'll see how we'll work something out anyway.
Yes, absolutely. All right, now, last but not least, before we move on, we do have a special kind of segment for the Volga Uplander himself, Mr. Elslack. He's running a bit of a thing here. Now, let me pull it up so I'm not just gobbing off the top of my head, because that's not going to work out very well at this time of the night. Where are we? This one. All right, hopefully that's shown up there. So Swally sent me a little bit of a blurb here. I'll read that. Do you like helping your fellow Uplanders? Do you enjoy helping sick kids? Do you want to win some amazing prizes? If you answered yes to any of these, then you won't want to miss out on Elslack, the Volga Uplanders event to raise money for sick kids. On May the 5th through May the 12th, you can head on over to any of his Metaventure shops or go directly to his fundraising page and make a donation. To make a donation in Upland, just head over to one of 4 shops and purchase one of his Legits or Block Explorers. All USD money will be donated to his local children's hospital. After the campaign has concluded, check out Elslack's YouTube channel for the live giveaway. There'll be a link in the description for that and the charity donation page. For all the details on how you can be a part of this amazing event, head on over to the Extra Life page, link in the description, as I said, and get involved. You won't want to miss out on what he's got going on there. Now, I did get that up and ready too, so we can have a quick look at that. So this is the landing page if you want to get on over and do that. So this is kind of the Meet Sudaverse version. If you want to get involved, that's the Meet Sudaverse version. And if you want to get involved in the Metaverse version, well, yes, head on over to one of his shops. Now, I believe that he's got a whole bunch of other different map assets and whatnot that people are donating that's going to be a part of this as well. So a lot going on over there. I'm sure if you get on over to the Volga Uplander YouTube channel, give him a like and subscribe, all that good stuff, you'll be able to keep up to date with everything that he's got going on. Speaking of which, I haven't caught up on the videos yet. I'm getting on the exercise bike at 4:30 in the morning. That's what I'll be listening to. I'll be catching up and getting his take on a few different things that have happened just recently. Always good for a listen. So thank you very much for getting involved with that and sending that through, Elslack. And thank you to Swally as well for putting some giveaways in, and sponsors like Kushal 089 and Umbrella Boy and all the other people that get involved. I love giving away stuff, and I especially love giving away other people's stuff. That's definitely my favourite. So good on everyone for that. All right, that's all I've got for this week. Thanks again, as I said, to Kushal 089 and his map asset metaventure called Rustic Arts, situated at 7754 Jellico Avenue, LA. Go on over and see what he's got going on over there. And that's it. all the best for everything that's happening through the week. All the best with collection reveal, of course. Try to avoid the FOMO dragon if you can. Not financial advice. Do whatever you want. Jump on all over it if you want to. Just go gangbusters like Swally. Just blow your whole dough. I'll be hanging out for collection reveal. I may get up for that one actually because I do have a bit of funds there, and I've gone under that 2 million mark. It'd be nice to get like a half decent limited or exclusive collection that pushes me back over the 2 mil. But I don't want to blow my whole wad, and then lo and behold, we get another big news event leading up to Genesis Week, or of course, there's going to be some big news at Genesis Week as well. So yes, all the best for everything that's got going on. And don't forget, it's pretty easy to win some UPX here, there, and everywhere. Get yourself involved. Bit of an update on the other podcast series, the Upland Chronicles. I've put a few bits and pieces together for that. If you want to keep up to date with some sneaky peekies on how I use ChatGPT and whatever else to get that all organised, that's all playing out in the MBA server. There's a whole bunch of things there. I'll probably sit down and do a whole bunch of work with that this weekend, hopefully. See how we go. Like I said, I've been smashed the last couple of weeks with some in real life stuff, getting the Christmas storm damage stuff finally sorted out. Finally moved back into the bedroom, so I'm back in the laundry today. All right, that's enough rambling. Thank you, everybody, and all the best. Catch you later.